The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
As we know, it was Brian Morris's birthday yesterday.
You obviously went all out and spoiled him rotten.
I didn't see him at all. I spoke to him on the phone. But I did say, you know, what do you want to do for your birthday? And Dad said, we'll do something on the weekend. And I went, no worries. And I said, well, what about for today, though? Why don't I...
on the day.
I said, why don't I Uber Eats you guys something nice for lunch or whatever? And he goes, oh, no, we got food here. And I said, what about for dinner? I'll get you Chinese or something like that.
Nice, good.
And then Dad said, no, I bought a really good lasagna from Woolworths.
So does he mean like
birthday? You're trying that.
Did he mean a frozen lasagna out of the frozen food section?
Yeah. So he said, no, we're having that. Looks really good.
What about, wasn't there any Christmas lasagna in the freezer?
I've got Christmas lasagna. I'm sure it is. Just under the pterodactyl. But Dad has to dig in there together and his hands get cold.
It's like the ghost of Christmas past.
Yeah. So anyway, I've been trying to ask him, you know, like, oh, what do you want to do for your birthday? And then, the suggestion was put out there that we get just some takeaway on the weekend and then have it at home. But I said, well, we can't because Dad has a rule. Dad doesn't eat when he drinks, right? Mm-hmm. So Dad sits at the table. So whenever I go around there and bring food over to Mum and Dad's house, me and Mum will eat the food and then Dad's will be in on the kitchen bench and then Dad will just sit there and have drinks.
Well, as Brian's always said, eating's cheating.
Eating's cheating. And then whatever I buy in the next day, which is usually like a burger or something like that, he'll put it in the toasted sandwich maker.
Right.
Because he says it tastes better that way.
The next day.
Yeah, so literally, I don't think on a Friday or a Saturday night, if I've been over there, I don't think that we've ever had dinner together because he eats it the next day.
So you couldn't, if you go over there, he's not like, well, I won't have a drink until I've eaten together with my family. That's not a thought process that's ever gone through his mind?
No. Sorry, you've really confused me. No, so he's chewing beer at the table.
That's his rule. I'm having a beer. Yeah. I will eat that.
Yeah. So then Mum goes, well, what about, instead of that, why don't we go out for dinner? And I said, Mum, are you stupid? Like, are you serious? We know Brian Morris's rule, and Dad doesn't like going out past midday. Now, if you're out past midday, he gets very irate.
What's the...
He gets anxious.
Is his thought process?
He usually says, I've got things to do.
Yeah, which is drinking.
He doesn't have
Which is drinking and not eating dinner.
Which is putting on a bet and drinking some beer. So if we're
you can do that at a licensed premises.
Well, you can.
He's not,
Sean knows them all.
Doesn't like it. So like literally, like so I said it has to be lunch. It has to be like brunch. It has to be brunch. So that's the only way that we're going to be able to do it. And then as we get towards 12 o'clock, you can start seeing the anxiety levels go up, and he starts getting angry. And now that you've hit summer as well, I was using my mate Ed's car. Well, mine was forever in the shop not long ago, and I had to drop it back to Ed. And then I said, Dad, we'll drop it off in the morning. And he goes, yeah, no worries. And then he rang me just before about 9:30, going, where are you? What are we doing? Like, what time are we getting there? I said, well, we'll get to...
So at 9:30?
We'll drop it off because we're dropping off at Ed's place, the firm, the hairdressers. And so we'll drop it off at 10. And then Dad went off his brain and said, 10 o'clock, we got to beat the heat. And I said to him,
it's air conditioned.
You're not sitting on the roof of the car. You're leaving your house, getting in an air-conditioned vehicle, driving somewhere, picking me up. I'm jumping in your air-conditioned vehicle. You're driving me home, and then your air-conditioned vehicle going back to your house and going inside. You're not driving the sun.
We're not going for a bushwalk.
No,
it's fine.
And it's just amazing. I just think sometimes how certain people set up their own personal rules, and you have to navigate your life around those personal rules, however stupid they are.
Yeah, it happened to me one time that stands out big time. In a row, I was always driving home from my mum and dad's, and I always put it down to the fact that Megan would have a couple of wines.
So you have a gathering at your mum and dad's once a week?
Once a week.
And so...
And I was always driving. And sometimes you can't be bothered. You know, you're always driving. Yeah. You know, and I didn't want to do that. And then I said to Megan, no, it's your turn to drive. She goes, no, I don't drive at night.
That was the first time you'd heard that?
And the first time I was like... That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? Anyway, so this went on for a while until I lost the plot.
Is it because of the wine?
So it wasn't, I don't want to drive at night.
It's not I don't want to, I don't. It's a rule.
Okay, so it's not I can't, I don't. I don't.
I don't drive at night. I don't drive at night, Sean. You know I don't drive at night.
How long's that been a rule?
So it started and it was a rule it went on for probably a year until I lost the plot there for a while, and then started really honing in. How did this come about? She reckons the lights at night on the street lights and all the lights happening is too much for her. It's too much for her eyes. eyes. But here's the thing. We had her eyes bloody lasered, I don't know how many years ago, but not too far before then. So she should be able to see.
She had perfect vision.
She should have X-ray vision, her eyes.
You must have had them lasered right out of a skull. Sean, if she's ever abandoned at night on the side of the road and needs someone to help her, she can't call Dad because he doesn't go out past midday.
It's after midday.
They're a great combination.
Very limited.
You know what? She's come around.
Oh.
So she went about 3 or 4 years where that was a blanket rule, Nathan, and then we're back in.
Well, what's the new blanket rule, though, about the shops?
Oh, the shops. The shops. She doesn't go to the shops.
By the shops, you mean the supermarket, right?
Don't go to the supermarket.
I presume she goes to Candle.
How
far away is the supermarket from your house?
We got Woolies. One's about 150 metres one way. Coles is probably 200.
That's so close.
And there's a fresh Provies in between that.
But she doesn't go to the shops. She doesn't go to the shops.
So what does she do? She gets delivery or you?
Yeah. Well,
how do you get food? How do you get groceries?
Personally, I don't like delivery because I reckon they give you the crap fruit and veg.
Oh, they don't. They don't hand select the garlic.
Not like you would. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel all the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the delivery people get all the stuff that you felt. Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, the van comes in.
These are hot points in people's lives when you have to navigate around someone's stupid personal rules, and that's what we're talking about. 13, 24, 10. Somebody is going to get $300 to spend at Coconut Grove.
Oh, yes.
You hit the dance floor at Coconut Grove for exclusive party deals and quick access. Visit coconutgrovetavern.com.au.
What if their rule is they don't dance?
Then they can drink.
People
There's
have that
food
rule.
and drink at Coconut Grove. It's fine.
Brian Morris is in then.
Navigating somebody else's odd personal rules. Let us know what they are.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Sometimes navigating your loved one's rules is a tricky scenario. Brian Morris will not do anything after midday.
No.
And also won't eat if he's drinking, and he's always drinking.
Yeah, and he'll only eat that food the next day. So
reheated.
Some things that I've brought around which are delicious, he's never actually tried fresh. He's always had it the next day, but he says it tastes better than once he's put it in the toasted sandwich.
If he doesn't eat it the first
case.
time, how does he know it's better?
I know this is what I say to him, and he goes,
Nothing
I just
to
know.
compare.
He goes,
I know
better.
deep in my soul.
He's never actually had Guzmani Gomez, you know, the Kelly burritos.
burritos.
He's never had one fresh. He's always had it the next day toasted. And he swears that he wouldn't like it fresh. And I said, well, you haven't tried it fresh.
I wouldn't like it fresh.
You haven't tried it fresh.
He just knows, though.
And he knows.
Megan won't go to the shops. I don't go to the shops.
Yeah.
No. The worst one was, though, the driving thing.
Yeah,
that went for
I
years.
don't drive at night.
Yeah. Weird personal rules that you have to navigate. Tom's in Wellard. Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Hey, Tom.
Right. Who's living by these rules, Tom?
So my grandma, she's been doing these rules for over 40 years now, and she's well into her 70s, and it comes to when she's having a drink, an alcoholic beverage. So she can't have a drink unless it's 3 p.m., not 2:59, not a minute before. It has to be 3 p.m. And when she does drink, it's 2 cans of 4X Gold, not 3, only 2, and then onto the Stanley Goon 4-litre. But she won't drink any other wine, so if you buy her any other wine, she'll let you know. And,
So if you were to buy her an expensive bottle of wine as a gift for a special occasion, she's like, oh, no, thank you.
she'll give it back to you and say, you drink it, love.
Oh, Tom.
I love her. What's your nana's name?
Christine.
Christine. So at 3 o'clock, at 3 p.m., does she crack open the beer, or is it just she'll have, that's when she's allowed to?
That's when she's allowed to, but the exception to the rule is if she has a visitor, she can extend the rules till 12.
Right.
12 p.m.
Right. So a visitor means you can get on it earlier. And is it always beer first, then
wine?
box wine?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It will not be anything else. It won't be another branded beer. It won't be 3 beers. It's
Also,
2 beers, then the wine.
Gold.
2 beers. And are those 4X? For me, I just see them as a can of mother. Are they giant, or are they just normal size?
normal.
cans?
No, they're just beer. Yeah, normal size. Yeah,
normal size cans.
375.
4X Gold.
4X Gold.
What is
2,
that?
not 3.
Is that like?
It's the Queensland beer. 4X.
Yeah, no,
Gold,
but
massive.
is it like
mid-strength.
normal strength?
Yeah, mid-strength.
Mid-strength. She's just checking herself before she wrecks herself.
Yeah, before she gets on the
That's all
on
she's
the box
doing.
goon.
That's all she's doing.
Thanks, Tom. Rebecca's in Auburn Grove. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi,
Rebecca.
He's got the weird personal rules.
My father-in-law, he is an absolute amazing guy. Love him to pieces, but he has these ridiculous rules around his sprinklers and his garden.
Excellent.
So we went away recently and we were like, okay, let's take the day off to extend the long weekend over the Oz Day weekend.
Yes.
And, we'll do that. We'll have a great family weekend away. Oh, no, Beck, I couldn't possibly do that. My sprinklers, my lawn's so luscious that I need to stay there and pop up my sprinklers. So I can only come down for 2 days. I'll meet you guys there on Thursday.
Oh, my God. So because he has to stay at home and make sure the sprinklers are done.
Absolutely. And we get down there, we're having a great time, and we're a big family Scorchers fan.
Yes.
We have like a group chat. We're like, "Oh, Scotcharders." My mother-in-law, she's Scottish. We pull the absolute mickey out of her. So we're like, "Oh, the Scorchers final's on. We'll stay here." No, Beck, I couldn't stay down. My sprinkling day Sunday. I've got to get down there. I've got to push them up. And
wait till he finds out about retic. It's going to blow his mind.
Automatic
I
retic.
this to him, but he goes to his luscious lawn. Is just so sick. He has to get out there and physically pop them up himself.
So is he only ever going to be planning to go away for 2 days max?
Yes, between his watering days.
Between
Yeah,
his watering days.
So it's not his watering days. If that doesn't fall in his watering days, Beck, he cannot go.
We have to work within his watering days.
Yeah.
We've invited them away over Christmas. Same thing. It's, I can't possibly get away.
Oh, my God. His partner just must be gagging for a 3-day holiday.
I know. So
imagine her.
Can't be done.
He can only travel in winter then, I take it, when he doesn't need to water the lawn because it's raining.
As often,
Amazing.
People love their lawn, though. I know we spoke about that
It's okay to love your lawn, but don't let it impact on your going away. That's amazing.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We're talking about weird personal rules. Ali, you'd be riddled with them.
Sure.
You have to be.
Surely.
What are some of the things that you
I
live
can't
by?
think of I live by a lot of weird rules.
Well, I know that us to navigate them, you cannot bring up the comfort of her jumper.
Don't you dare say that something looks comfortable that I'm wearing.
You can.
No, you'll
If
be
you
on the
say
attack
something
straight
looks
away.
comfortable, she sees it as the most highest of insults.
That's right.
It's rude, though, like, you got to admit.
No, it's not.
No.
I don't like to be called mate.
That's a rule.
Why?
Don't call me mate.
I
Why?
don't know, I think it's uncomfortable.
What if Dougie called you mate?
Oh, we do that, and then I'll go, okay, bruv, then
Bruv.
we do
Yeah.
pal, buddy.
Slugger.
But isn't that endearing? Because you're friends as well as being partners.
As well as lovers.
And you're mating. You're mating.
Oh, my God.
For life. Coitus.
Please, stop that.
You play coitus all the time.
Let's see what Todd from Abbey Hill has to say. Morning, Todd.
Morning, guys. How you going?
Hey, good time.
Good job.
Who's got the rather peculiar personal rule?
My wife has. Nate's talking about navigating earlier.
Yeah.
Like, my wife hates turning right on roads. Like, she'll do it at traffic lights or something like that. But if it's a busy double lane road, no, it's not.
So if there's like lights with an arrow, she's like, oh, that's fine, I can cope with that. 'Cause it literally tells me when to go and I know everything else is stopped. But if she's just got to turn right on a regular road, she won't do it.
Yeah, she'll chuck lefts everywhere. I'm going, what?
Go around the block.
Where are you going? It's like, we'll do all an extra friggin' 5 kilometres or whatever.
Why a
to
right,
get to the
Todd?
spot.
Because she's nervous about the oncoming traffic.
So Todd, she's not chucking a right. So she goes up, she chucks a left, and then she'll go around the block, and then will she go straight through the double roads? Like,
She wouldn't
is that
do
okay?
that, surely.
How will you get there?
If it's a traffic light, like sometimes we'll go, maybe I live around Hammy Hill way, and we'll go, say left on Carrington, left on Phoenix to get down to Swanbourne, then we'll go left Stock Road, and to get to a light or something.
So she turns left a lot until she finds a traffic light with an arrow.
Yeah, a traffic light, and then because we've been married 14 years, and she's had it ever since. So I thought, man, look.
Just easier if you drive, isn't it, Todd?
I don't turn right.
Funny.
Okay,
I love these rules.
You've been living with this for like 13, 14 years. Does it still drive you insane when she does it? Do you still have the argument all the time?
Yep. Sometimes I forget about it. And I go, what are you doing? Like, I don't turn right. I was like,
don't
Turn right.
You know this.
Whoever taught her to drive has a lot to answer for, clearly. Didn't give her the confidence to turn right. Thanks,
Old
Todd.
Zoolander.
Let's go to Gemma. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Jam.
Gemma, okay. Whose rules do you have to navigate?
So my now husband is a sports journalist, and when we first got together, he watched a stupid amount of sports on television and could always use the excuse that it was for work. It was for work.
Of course.
Anyway, this just wasn't going to fly, because how am I going to watch The Bachelor and MasterChef and all the crappy TV that I need to watch?
Yeah.
So we decided when we moved in together that we'd have 2 televisions set up side by side in our lounge room, and we would watch the television wearing headphones. So if you walk into our house, it's dead silent because there's no sound on either TV because we're listening in headphones.
And you're watching two separate tellies,
but side by side, together, because they love one another.
We still get to snuggle on the couch together. So,
Gemma, are you so? Because naturally, I would wander to the other screen. Are you so used to it now that you don't even see his TV?
Yes, that's exactly what happens. Because people go, don't you get distracted by the other telly? I'm like, no.
No, it's sport.
Obviously, The Bachelor is, very important television that I'm watching.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're the only one.
Yes. You flipped to maths now, obviously, though.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Gemma, your husband's a sports journalist. Would we know him?
Potentially. His name's Alex Malcolm. He writes for crickinfo.com.
I've seen his name around. Yeah. Gem, I reckon that's a bloody great way to keep a relationship strong. That's right. Tellies together,
Absolutely.
hold hands, watching different stuff. We could do that together, Nath.
And then got one for the kids. Literally got like a wall of screens.
Thanks, Gemma. Marcus, hello.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Hey, Marcus.
Who's got the peculiar personal rules, Marcus?
Geez, see, this is me. I'm not going to live this one down, but I couldn't help it. This is, again, another Kalgoorlie story with Sylvester's involved.
Sylvester's, everybody, is the local nightclub, all used to be. Is Sylvester's still open,
What's
Marcus?
it called, Marcus, now?
It is actually still open. It does events, and they also have a gaming license. So they have people who go in there and do gaming and whatnot. But still the same owners, and still open for events, and still got a cabaret license. So it's still there.
Yeah, right. Oh, there you go. My brother was a bouncer there when he was 17, by the way.
He was. I remember him. Yes.
17. All right, Marcus. Yeah. What happened?
So this is late 90s. I was actually managing that place at the time, and I started seeing this new barmaid that we'd employed there. Obviously, spent a couple of nights together here and there, and one morning I woke up and her hair was on the kitchen bench. It was a wig.
So what was his name?
Gee whiz. You got me. But the craziest part about this is that she actually, I shaved my head back then, and she didn't like the fact I had no hair. So she had this special guy that made wigs, and she actually insisted on me having one which had a little bit of mullet. And I went, this is crazy, but geez, you're all right. So for about a month, I was wearing a wig because she wanted me to wear one. Now, how crazy is that?
Do you mean you were wearing it in public or just privately for her?
No, in public.
You wore it in public.
And you walked down Hannon Street in a mullet wig?
Yeah, a little bit of a mullet, yeah. And I had
she must have been great.
Look, I was very, very young. I was,
Marcus, how old were you?
Oh, God.
It was last year.
I still have it. I still wear it. No, it would have been, just around 20 years old, I guess. Yeah, 19, 20.
You'll do anything for a bit of action at that age, won't you?
Yeah, I'll wear a wig. Bloody oath I will.
Oh, my God, Marcus.
See you after work.
God, you've given us that topic for tomorrow, what you'll do for a bit of action.
That is a good one.
Amazing. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. $300 to spend at Coconut Grove. Hit the dance floor at Coconut Grove. For exclusive party details and quick access, visit coconutgrovetavern.com.au. Marcus, we have to reward you because you bought some gold.
But you have to wear your wig when you go to Coconut Grove, okay?
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. You know what? I can't go past Todd's wife who won't turn right.
Oh, no, that's hilarious.
She won't turn right. So we're going to give Todd $150 to spend at the Sterling Arms.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, beat inflation at your next event with no room hire fee and no minimum spend at the Sterling Arms. thesterlingarms.com.au.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
Zac Efron is back in Australia.
Oh, thank God. We've missed him.
Byron Bay's missed him.
Yeah.
He's come here to film a movie with John Cena.
Yes.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah. Remember when he was here last time? He started going with that waitress.
Yes.
And then suddenly, now I think she's on that Byron Bays, is she?
Oh, is she?
I don't know. I've never watched it. Never watched it. I don't want to add to the views, so I'll get the second season.
I don't want that on my algorithm.
Because if you even watch something on Netflix for a minute, I think it's after a minute, that counts as a view.
Right, okay.
So just be very careful, everybody, with your viewing.
You'd be giving off... I've renewed
many seasons, Sean. Many many seasons of piles of rubbish. But I won't be part of that one.
Right.
Anyway, so he's here with John Cena, and they're going to be filming a movie called Ricky Stenicki. Now, this is hilarious. It's
a great premise.
Ricky Stenicki is an imaginary character. He's been invented by 4 friends, and he's been invented by them, so they've got someone upon which to blame their misbehaviour. So the concept is, what happens if the wives finally say, hey, wait a second, how come we've never met Ricky Stenicki? He wasn't at a wedding. He's never at parties. We want to meet him. So suddenly the guys have panicked because they've blamed everything they've ever done that's wrong or a little bit questionable or gone away on weekends on Ricky Stenicki. So then they hire John Cena, who plays Ricky Stenicki, to be him. And then he becomes so great that everyone loves him and he won't leave the scenario. And then the boys are like, how do we get rid of this guy? Because everyone thinks he's amazing.
Now we're stuck with Ricky Stenicki.
But it just brings me to the question of, Sean, have you ever invented somebody, or not made up someone, but have you got a scapegoat? Have you ever used somebody to get out of something or to get permission to do something?
Yeah, 100%. And this is my footy mates. Peter Bell is the go-to guy. If you say Peter Bell, you're doing something, or you've been with Peter Bell.
Oh, so you're basically with the student counsellor.
Yeah,
it means that everything's above board.
And all the wives and girlfriends always trust Belly.
So if he's involved, then it's very much above board.
Yeah, so for example, okay, I go out for lunch, and then I don't get home until whatever o'clock, and I know that I'm in so much shit. Yeah. I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's just with Belly. Oh,
and he bought another round of drinks.
What do you mean? Well, he was going to waited for London to come and pick him up.
Oh, so you're having coffee at the library.
Yeah. And the same thing. Oh, we've got too much on this weekend. Oh, I was just going out with the boys. Who's going? Name the guys. And Belly will be there. Oh, okay. Well.
So as long as Belly's involved, it's okay.
And most of the guys use that one because he's the one that everybody...
And he's not always involved, is the...
No, not always.
So do you therefore ring Belly and say, even if he wasn't there, hey, Belly, we were with you last night, just to cover you?
Look, I haven't given him the heads up in that way. I think my mate Spewy would give him a few messages. Hey,
sure.
Okay, so we were with you last night.
Yeah, 100%.
And if the girls think that of Peter Bell, but in person, is that true?
He's very trustworthy. Very trustworthy.
Got to keep the illusion going, don't you?
Yeah.
It's 8:15. Good morning, Megan.
We want to know if you're like Sean, and you have your own Ricky Stenicki. So, who do you have a scapegoat that you use at will? Do you have someone that either you blame something on, or you use them to get permission to do something?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not true.
No.
All right? We want to know about scapegoats or alibis or...
Do you have a go-to?
People that get you out of things. We're going to give somebody $150 to spend at the Sterling Arms. Beat inflation at your next event with no room hire fee and no minimum spend at the Sterling Arms, thesterlingarms.com.au. And I don't know whether it's a antiquated way of looking at things, but I feel like this is a thing that men do and women wouldn't.
I reckon there are...
So do you reckon there's some loose women out there that are doing bad things and blaming Jenny?
Yeah.
You know Jenny from the block.
Yeah, nothing would go wrong.
2 words.
I haven't met Jenny.
Nathan. Book club.
Oh, book club.
Yeah, that's right. Book club, yeah.
All right, 13 24 10. Do you have a go-to scapegoat or alibi? Hit us up. We're talking about when you have somebody in your life, whether that's a fictional character or maybe you use a real person like Peter Bell, whether they're involved or not, as the scapegoat, as the reason to get away with things.
Yeah. Well, they're the trustworthy people in your lives you can use.
Yeah, or the person that you blame, and then no one will ever check up on them.
No.
Chloe's in Cloverdale. Hey, Chloe.
Hello, how you going?
Great.
Chloe.
All right, for you, who is it, Chloe?
So my younger sister, she's actually blind, and my dad, they play this joke on my mum. So obviously, things get broken, she puts things in the wrong place, and every time it happens, they go, oh, Mum, it's Billy again. Oh, there's Billy again.
So she gets the blame for everything.
Anything that's broken, you blame her. Because she's blind.
It's believable.
Because she's blind.
Chloe, is she good with that? She takes it for the team?
They're all onto it. They love it. They all love it.
They love it.
Right. That's awesome.
Well, you can't punish her for it because she can't help it. Exactly. It's the perfect scapegoat, actually.
That's the best, eh?
Exactly right. No, it's hilarious. Dad's even the worst for it. She'll be doing something and Dad will go, calm down, Catherine. It's just Billy. Oh, God.
Oh, Dad.
Oh, you know what? I
That's
think it's
excellent.
great we live in a day and age where we can laugh at someone blaming a blind sister for breaking things.
Thanks, Chloe.
I like
Jared, hello.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Oh, good,
Jared. Who's the scapegoat? What have you created?
Look, I am the scapegoat for my mates, for my kids. Ever since high school, I've just been the scapegoat. I'm not a likeable person, so yeah.
What do you mean? Okay,
I'm not a likeable person.
Give us a scenario, Jared.
So it all started. A mate's mum blamed me for him trenching one of our other mates' lawns with his new car when he was a P-plater.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so I rocked up at his house. I wasn't even there. And the mum's like, you really should dob yourself in, because obviously the kid got in trouble with the cops.
Yeah.
You know, Jared, like, you should do the right thing and dob yourself
And
in.
own up to something that you weren't even there
own
for.
up to it. And I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, you know, when you completely destroyed the front lawn of another mate's parents' house. And I said, I wasn't even there. He's like, she goes, look, mate, you got to own this stuff.
So they called you a liar.
It was just, whenever anybody suggested that it was you in the wrong, everybody went, yeah, no, that checks out. That would have been Jared for sure.
And it was through high school, through uni. Girlfriends, mates would blame me for late nights.
So, Jared, this has followed you around your whole life. Were you ever the bad person, or this is just something that's been pushed upon you?
Like I said, Nathan, it's just I come across as an arrogant, unlikable person.
I adore your self-awareness, Jared.
Because I'm actually enjoying the conversation. I think you seem quite nice.
Because most arrogant, unlikable people don't realise that they're arrogant and unlikable.
Yeah, you're very self-aware. So, Jared, does your arrogance and unlikability come across the phone, or do I need to get some quality Jared FaceTime for me to really absorb it?
I think it's book by its cover type stuff, to be honest. It's just 25 years of reflection. Probably I've got the level of awareness now. So it checks out. Like, it really checks out over years.
So who else doesn't like you?
Sorry?
Who else doesn't like you in your life?
You got a missus, Jared?
Work colleague.
Work colleagues.
Have you got a missus, Jared?
I do. I've been married to her for nearly 20 years.
And how are her parents with you? Do they like you?
No, they don't like me.
But you can't. It's the arrogance in the...
Jared, and so your mates obviously like you, or do they just like having you in their life because they can blame you for everything?
It's a small group of mates, but yeah, they seem to like me. I think they tolerate me.
Yeah, and their partners don't like you, do they?
No, not really. I'm a bit opinionated towards a few things.
Jared, thank you. We want to keep you as our scapegoat, just quietly.
Yeah.
I mean, we think you'd be handy.
Oh, Jared, you know what? Jared, we like you.
And
we do.
We're going to give you $150 to spend at the Sterling Arms.
And you should probably feel bad now because you've beaten out a younger blind sister.
Yeah.
But okay, don't worry about it.
No, don't worry. Well, you know what? We can't have her at the Sterling Arms. She'll break stuff. Okay, beat inflation at your next event with no room hire fee and no minimum spend at the Sterling Arms, sterlingarms.com.au. Jared, you...
They don't put up with arrogance, though, there.
Let's just say you...
It'll just be me there anyway. So.
Yeah, you were very well liked here.
Very well liked.
Only because we haven't met him.
Wait till we meet him.
We don't know.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.